Maybe someone in the offices of ESPN and the NBA had been watching this channel. Now, that's highly doubtful, but you never know. It's possible. For at least a year now, I have been saying that the NBA needs to market itself around Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. It has been a while since we've talked about this, so I'm going to go back to the analogy that I've used before. I grew up watching professional wrestling in the mid to late 90s. I'm talking about the good shit, not the trash Vince McMahon puts on TV every week now. That is garbage. I know I know every generation thinks that their era is the best. Best music, best entertainment, best time to grow up and come of age. But the 90s and early 2000s really were a great time to be a teenager and a young adult. I actually feel bad for the youth of today. There was no censorship when I was growing up. Matter of fact, there was resistance to censorship. There was no such thing as cancel culture. People like Dolores Tucker, Bob Dole, they were vilified for trying to censor rap music. The WWF back in the 90s was good shit. They had real star power. In the wrestling business, you have two types of heat. You have good heat, where people buy the pay per view to see the bad guy get the shit kicked out of him. Ric Flair was brilliant in the late 80s, early 90s at generating good heat. Same goes in the UFC. Colby Covington would be an example of this, of someone who pisses people off and they pay to see him get his ass kicked. Those are two examples of good heat. Now, the opposite side of that spectrum, you have go away heat. The modern WWE is a prime example of go away heat. The product is so watered down, so vanilla, so boring, to be honest with you, that people refuse to watch it. Don't take my word for it. Go check out their television ratings and compare them to the late 90s. I haven't watched the WWE in years, but I would be willing to bet they don't have any stars on the roster that can pop the crowd like Steve Austin or The Rock. In the NBA, LeBron James has go away heat. Not with the entire audience, but with a sizable portion of the American population. It is one thing for the face of your league to be polarizing. It's one thing for them to be controversial. Controversy is not a bad thing. You want a certain level of controversy because it generates interest. I'll give you an NBA example. Back in the summer of 2010, ESPN hyped up the decision of LeBron James. They spent weeks hyping this thing up. They dedicated an entire hour in prime time so LeBron James could announce where he would be playing the following season. To my knowledge, it is the first and only time something like this has happened in the NBA. Hell, it might be the only time it's happened across all sports. It was a fucking circus. All this hype, weeks of anticipation, 55 minutes of bullshit filler on ESPN. All to hear LeBron James speak 7 simple words. I'm taking my talents to South Beach. Now, contrast that with how Michael Jordan announced his return to the NBA in 1995. In the spring of 95, there were rumors going around that Michael Jordan was anticipating a return to Chicago to carry the Bulls through another playoff run. At that point, he had been retired almost 2 years. NBC did not dedicate an hour of primetime coverage to it. ESPN, TNT, they didn't either. Michael Jordan didn't need any of that bullshit. When he decided to return to the NBA, he sent out a press release containing 2 words: I'm back. That was it. That was it. Simple as that. Now, as bad as the optics of the decision with LeBron James looked at the time, it ended up being ingenious. LeBron went from being a fan favorite to the most hated player in the NBA. Consequently, NBA ratings the next couple of years reached numbers the league hadn't seen since the Jordan era. It was good heat. Currently, LeBron James has go away heat, possibly with half the American population. You guys already know why. I don't need to explain it to you again. His constant promotion of social justice, Black Lives Matter, his refusal to not only speak out against China, but to continue making millions and millions of dollars in China has pissed a lot of people off. LeBron James is viewed as a hypocrite, and that's not my opinion, it's a fact. Apparently, ESPN and the NBA have come to the realization that maybe they should shift some of the national attention away from LeBron James and onto Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. ESPN airs NBA games every Friday night, most of the time a doubleheader. Tonight's game was supposed to be Lakers Clippers. It likely would have drawn a decent number, which for an NBA game in 2021 on ESPN would be 1.5 million viewers. Not great, but I mean decent enough. But ESPN decided to make a change. Instead of Lakers Clippers, they are going with Suns Warriors. Both Golden State and Phoenix share the best record in the NBA at 18-3. They're coming off an excellent game Tuesday night, where it was neck and neck throughout until the Suns pulled away late with an 8-point win. Originally, LeBron James was not scheduled to play tonight. Even though he's fully vaccinated, he somehow managed to catch the COVID. Then he didn't have the COVID. Then he had the COVID. Then he didn't have the COVID. He tested positive, then negative, then positive again, then negative. Who the hell knows? What the hell's going on here? We are 2 years into this pandemic, and we still can't test people properly? LeBron James has been cleared to play tonight, but it wouldn't have mattered either way. Even if he were healthy all week this week and scheduled to play tonight, the Lakers were still getting bumped. Reason being, the Golden State Warriors are the biggest draw in the NBA. LeBron James may be viewed by the media as the face of the league, but he is not the biggest draw. Steph Curry is the one who brings in ratings. The matchup between the Suns and Warriors Tuesday night on TNT drew nearly 2.5 million people. It was the most watched game since Fauci invented the COVID. NBA ratings this season are up 8% from 2019, leagues averaging 1.55 million per game. Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors are the reason for the ratings increase. Notice, I did not say they were part of the reason. The Warriors are the reason. The 3 most watched NBA games this season all featured Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. 4 of the top 5, Warriors. 5 of the top 7, Warriors. 6 of the top 9, Warriors. Are you seeing a trend here? A dumbass like Anthony Fauci could notice this trend. Steph Curry is the top draw in the NBA, and it's easy to understand why. Steph Curry has largely remained apolitical. Aside from the Warriors refusing to visit the White House several years ago because Donald Trump was president, I can't think of anything political involving Steph Curry. ESPN changing games may not seem like a big deal, but it is definitely not insignificant. The Lakers are the premier franchise in the NBA. LeBron James, supposedly the biggest star in the league. Can you think of another time LeBron James has been moved off national television? He's been in the NBA since '03. I can't think of another instance where LeBron James has been bumped off national TV. This may not be good for LeBron, but this is great for the NBA, and it's absolutely the right decision. I know I shit on ESPN and the NBA most of the time, but I have to give them credit here. I have been saying this should happen for a while now. This is a step in the right direction. The focus of the league should be on Steph Curry. So I will be watching this game tonight when I get home from the bar. Probably throw a few dollars on it just to make it more interesting. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow, planning on playing golf early in the morning, then heading to the bar to watch the SEC Championship. So if I don't have time tomorrow, I will definitely be back on Sunday morning. But let me know what you guys think. LeBron James, booted off of national television, booted off of ESPN, so they could feature Steph Curry. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.